We're good to go. Timekeepers are ready. Judges ready. Shearers, on your marks, get set, go.
And this is a quality shear. It's a quality competition from our novice shearers. Time is not really important. I've got one sheep. It doesn't really matter how long it takes them, as long as they get all that wool off in one blow. All that wool, no second cuts, nothing left behind. And Ruben Alabaster, he's here, he's going to show us how it's done. Look at him go. This young fella, he's here and he wants to take that first prize ribbon home today. He's going for it, into the undermine, full comb, a bit of a wriggle, but he reacts to it before she gets a chance to kick. He's got a big undermine, rolling us over there so he can reach better. Top knot comes off, and he's up for neck before anybody else has got their undermine done. It's not about speed, it's quality though.
Yeah, that's the idea, Morgan, all right. They've got to get it right. The time is very, very minor as far as this is concerned right now. It's structured for these shearers to learn correctly and do the job nice and tidy. But talking about speed, and just go back to Ruben Alabaster, he is the top qualifier into this event, ladies and gentlemen, at the age of 10. With the points of 18.5, and the next place getter is a 21. So he's out there on his own a fair bit at the moment. So he's just got to do what he did in the heats. And yeah, it could be very, very exciting. Hey, but there's more on the board than young Alabaster. We've got Green there. Some of these female shearers are very good too. She's lining up that shot up the neck. Just one to be sure. It's a very, tense sort of time right at the moment. You're not, really, really established in the shearing industry. And here you are, now you've made a semi-final in the novice with 200 odd people watching. And all the lights and the glitz and glamour and getting, live streamed all around the world. All these sorts of different pressures and different dynamics they've got to take on. But they're handling it well, Morgan. They're into it, and the young fella's just hitting that magical long blow.
Yeah, they're cruising along well. Ruben, he had a bit of a battle with that Yush. He didn't like sitting there for the long blow, but he's got his footwork right. He's got his toes underneath her head between his knees. He's got it under control now. She had a bit of a fight, but he's picked her back up. He's dominating her again. He's coming down the last side. He's looking good. He's confident. These girls, normally on these shows in the novice, we talk about the girls not having the strength and having to have the skill. But I think the strength is, Ruben's probably a bit outmatched in the strength stakes today. So it's good to see. Good even field up here. Good wild Wairarapa on the U's too. Making them work hard to get the wool off.
Yeah, Alabaster goes for the lift the head up. That's the boy. Don't panic. Just stay calm and relaxed. Look at how pink that baby is. And talking about the girls, stand 6, decides on lifting the head as well. It's all or now. This is it. We're going to cut these boys and girls in half after this. We're running into the top 6 later on for the podium, the cash and sash time. But at the moment, there we go. A red button to stop the clock. Cody, Greg, stand 5. Down on the front stand, Morris. Really working that left hand. Right, and the applause goes out for the young 10-year-old, and so it should, unannounced. Morrison's wrapped up on the front stand. Sophie Green doing the finishing touches front here. How did Sophie qualify? Really she's got to move up the ladder. She's going to have to, really hook in there. She's qualified number 11, and she's got to climb that ladder to make that top 6.
Finishing touches there for Sarah Higgins, all the way from Marlborough. We saw her in the rousing, in the Woolhandling before, and she did a good job. She's up here competing in the shearing as well. That sheep's clean, Sean. She's looking for her spot in the semis. You can see Cody's final score coming up on the board.
Yeah, and Sarah, she done a good job. She was third top here, Morgan, into this event. So she's puts them out nice and clean, all right, with a job of 4 out the back. Give them a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. It's a semi-final of the novice.
Just interrupt you guys. We're just going to get underway with Heat 4 in the pairs wool pressing. Don't forget, guys, 5 minutes and 17 seconds has been done this afternoon. Pressman. On press number 1, ladies and gentlemen, we have Linton Palmer and Caleb Metternich. And on press number 2, Lee Edmonds and Shane Ireland. Timekeepers ready. Pressmen, on your marks, get set, go! Call the next ones up, guys.
On stand number 1, all the way from Takapau, Ari Strickland. On stand 2, from Puranoa and formerly Wales, Josh Jones. On stand 3, Darren Bryant, over from Levin. The Bolton man on stand 4, Bailey Rush. All the way from Ruawai, Hazel Wood. And Sarah Edmonds from Masterton, the local girl, on stand number 6. 1 sheep to shear. In our novice semi-final, the second of our novice semi-finals. Big thanks to our young farmers out the back there. Mike Slater, happy birthday to Mike Slater, he's turned 41 today. Still in the young farmers. Good to see you turning up to big events too. We're just waiting on a green light from our timekeepers. Oh, we're just having a swap around here because Joss is left-handed, but he's been put in the wrong stand. He needs to get down the end so no one else gets in his way. It'll be a minute while our computer gets changed.
Well, we're getting organised up there, Morgan and Gerald. We come back to the wool pressing. The time has ticked by, and what are we up to? 2.5 minutes, and the cap's already gone on. The Shane Island, he's not mucking around, ladies and gentlemen. He's probably pressed 1 or 2 bales before, and he's let the lightest man up there so they don't go over the weight. But 160 kilograms. Linton Palmer's got a little bit of lead in his pencil, so he's putting it down there very hard now. All getting ready to roll the box up. 4 minutes has ticked by, and Lee Edmonds is working his way underneath there. When you're ready to go, guys.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the green light there, Cora, and we'll be ready for action.
I see you got a cack-handed man in there, left-hander.
Yeah, one of those left-handers. There we go, we're good to go. Timekeepers are ready, judges ready. Shearers, on your marks, get set, go.
1 sheep to shear. First out on the board, Bailey Rush from Bolton. He's got a good little ewe too. Joss flips his right around. He's shearing in the mirror of Hazel behind him there. Or he's behind her. Back to back. He's going to whip that belly off. And again, the time doesn't come into it. If you saw in the previous heats, you can be a whole minute behind. There's only a couple points in it. Whereas your penalty points and your board points are massive. That's what counts, your quality. You've got to get the job right if you want to make this novice shearing final.
Yeah, that's how it's going to roll, all right. And the pleasure they've had is they do know how they've qualified into this event, so they can have a good look at the points, and that's what it's all about, to improve the industry as a whole. But right now it's just about them and about this event and about making that top 6. So they know whether they have to go a wee bit quicker or what they have to do to make that top 6 and get into it. How's that man getting down on the bottom stand there, the left-hander? What's his disadvantages? Is there any? Well, sort of slightly. Yes, but there's been a lot of great left-handers round. Don't worry about that as he gets the belly wall clear. The problem he's got to turn the sheep round that way, and it looks like he's shearing it backwards, but he's not actually. but the handpiece wants to turn a certain way, and that way suits a right-hander and not a left-hander. So he has to put a bit of pressure on the handpiece to make sure the bottom tooth will stay on the skin more than a right-hander, because it would naturally want to turn that way. But those are just some of the small things, but there's been a lot of great left-handers around. Colin King being one, the legendary Monty Kringle from down my way another, and they can be as good as anyone else. So up the undermine he goes. Only one to be shorn, and it's all about quality again. We've said it once, we've said it a million times, but that's just how it's structured, and that's how it needs to be structured for the shearing industry as a whole. Edmonds, Sarah from Masterton, a local girl. Let's have some noise for her, some support. Come on, Sarah, get round to that world famous long blow. Oh, in and around that front leg, there's a lot of wee corners you've got to get in there, and it's all got to come off. Alan Patterson, the judge, keeping a very close eye on her. He sneaks round the corner. You're not going to sneak one under here, Sarah. I'm right with you. Following the handpiece with every stroke, but she's slowly working her way round. Brian takes in the back of the head off. Round it goes, right out the ears, but onto the world famous long blow goes Rush. Wood right beside him. Way she goes, starting to cover some country now. Strickland, hey, don't forget about me on this front stand. We haven't forgotten about you, mate. Drops the knee into the belly there just to try to hold it. You can sense as a shearer when they're going to wriggle, so you need to put a few things in place, and putting the knee in the belly is one of them, just to get a wee bit more support. Morgan, they're going really well, these two heats. This is good. It's a difficult situation for some young girls and boys to get up there in front of this crowd.
It's going to be a good final. We've got some talented young shearers here. There's a lot of raw talent. All they need is a couple years and a couple 100,000 sheep between their legs, and we'll have some real guns here. There's some. It's good to see such an array of raw talent.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing I have noticed, and it's good to see from the wool handling and the shearing aspect, is the amount of master shearers and master wool handlers that are in the audience watching all these younger ones. They don't have to come along here today, but they want to support. They know how important the Golden Shears is, and here they come along and watch these juniors in the wool handling. They watch them in the shearing, see how they're getting on, have a wee chat to them out the back. That's why they're good shearers, and that's why they're master shearers, is because they put the effort in to coach these young fellas and girls, just to make them, give them that little bit of edge, just a bit of a help. It's not easy shearing sheep for a living, I can tell you that, but you have a lot of fun and you're part of the shearing family. But on the journey home, Morgan, stands 1 and 2 at this stage, out the front with a beautiful one coming out in the middle there by Rush.
Yeah, it's not about the pace, it's about the quality. You look up on the big screen, you can see the quality points, and that's where it's won, the total quality points. That's where we'll see them in the final. You keep those points down. The time points are not a big part of it, really. Wow. It's all about the board and the pen points in the novice grade. Ari Strickland, he's taken his time, just under 4 minutes 30.
Wow.
Sarah Edmonds, she's 4 minutes 45. Time taken in the pressing. How heavy is that bale going to be?
There's some super sheep. I tell you, Edmonds put out a super sheep, and so did Rush. Oh, get that time clock, Rush. You'll be right, mate. That was a very clean sheep you saw there. Wood, finishing touches. The head comes up. Who's down the bottom there? The Welsh boy, Jones. Common name there. The left-hander. Right out the toenails he goes. Brings the head forward again for some more support and control. There's a lot of life in these sheep. Finishing touches down there. We're going to have to divide them, I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, and the final will be later on this afternoon. It will be exciting and really good. Give them a mighty round of applause. That's all the novices. You won't see 6 of them again, unfortunately. They will get prize money, but that's how it's rolling here today at the Golden Shears.
Two. A final call Ford, Thompson and Matty Mason. Final call for you guys. We've got Bodine, Hawkins and Arana Mason ready to roll, ready to rumble. We'll go across to our Tuesday. Just before we go to the presentation, there is a last call for Matty Mason and Bodine and Arana are here. Matty Mason and your partner, we'd like you up on this wool handling or wool pressing stage. Ford, Thompson and Matty Mason.
We've got our speed shear here tonight, the Golden Shears speed shear at 6:30 up on stage here. It's going to be pretty magical. There's going to be some quick sheet. The elders, primary wool boys have crutched them up and they've got a bit over eager in the crutching. I'm looking for a sub 20-second time tonight. They are going to be quick. There's not much wool on them. You're going to have to be in the edge of your seat to catch it. Something to look forward to.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our first presentation of the 2015 Golden Shears. I'd like to welcome onto the stage the finalists for the Wool Systems Novice Woolhandling, the Director of Wool Systems, Mavis Mullins, and the Minister of Primary Industries, Honourable Nathan Guy. And Wairarapa MP Alistair Scott. No. While the finalists come up on stage, I'd like to pass the mic now to Honourable Nathan Guy, Minister for Primary Industries.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen and contestants. Can I wish you all the very best for the next couple of days? This is the shearing elite of the world, this event, and it's fantastic for me to be here and acknowledge all of the competitors today. I know from my experiences as a farmer just over the hill in the Horowhenua, it takes a hell of a lot of effort to shear a sheep. And I was just seeing the little guy here, Alabaster, having a go from Tie Happy, and I thought, wasn't that fantastic? A young fella, understanding shearing, working hard up here, and ultimately he will be a professional shearer, I'm sure, down the track. Can I just salute you all for what you do, involved in a very important part of the primary sector. You know, wool generates around $700 million a year, and of course there is potential for that to grow as the number of sheep declines around the world. And one story that I like to tell very quickly is when we had our peak sheep numbers at around 70 odd million, now we're just a little bit below 30 million, we produce the same amount of sheep meat on less than half the flock size. So that just goes to show how our farmers pick up innovation, whether it's animal genetics, pasture genetics, adopt new technologies and lift their overall productivity, and you're a big part of that. I salute you all, wish you all the very best for the next couple of days, and I hope that New Zealand pulls off the test on Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. The Golden Shears, of course, is an international competition. So, along with 3 New Zealand competitors, we also have 1 competitor here from Scotland. First place in the Wool Systems Novice Woolhandling will receive $150. From Scotland, Claire Wilson. Words. This is what happens when you're a winner, you've got to speak in public. Congratulations, this is a phenomenal achievement to come all this way and take this title.
Yeah, thank you. Well, look, a bit of a mess because I didn't even think I was going to make a semi, but just like to thank all our competitors, the farmers for the sheep, and all the volunteers and organisers for this. So, yeah, thank you.
Claire Wilson. Second place will receive $100 and goes to China Haney. Third place, $70, Bianca Hawea. And fourth place, $50, Hazel Wood. That concludes our first presentation for today, ladies and gentlemen. While they have the official photos, I'll pass you back to our commentators.
Thank you.